This is the Leo Clamaco podcast.
What message do you have for anyone feeling devalued or unworthy? How can someone learn to rise up and take on challenges?
There's something comes to mind right now. There's the movie called Scent of a Woman, and there's a dialogue at the end of the movie. It's a movie that stars Al Pacino, and I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not.
But you have to see it. If not for nothing else, the end of the movie where he delivers his defense for a young man.
What's it called again?
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman.
The
Got it.
Scent of a Woman. SCENT. And in that movie, the premise is that it's a man who is blind, and he accuses, and there's something that happens in the college. Well, no, he hires this young man to take him around. So the young man leaves college during a vacation session and goes to work for him. And during that time, something happens at the college where he gets a phone call to say, listen, you remember the incident before you left that took place? This and that happened, and they found out, and they're going to blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to give the premise away. But the young man that's with him is he's not from a rich background, but that school is for the affluent. So all his friends are affluent, he's not. So at the time when they're bringing people up for judgment, the headmaster says, well, I'm not going to do anything to these three because nobody can really identify them. I'm not going to blame this guy whose father is filthy rich and a contributor to the college, financial contributor to the college. But I was counting on you to tell me the truth. You're not valued to be a bad man. I'm going to give you one more chance. And Pacino says he doesn't want that. He doesn't need to be labeled, valued to be a bad man, which is the name of the college. And I'm not going to give the whole speech, but you see, he doesn't need other people to value him. He's got to know who he is. So you
I know exactly
you
what
have
you're
to
saying.
understand that nobody is making you who you are if you don't make yourself. You have to. They can contribute.
Right.
They can give you the push. You know, give you the affirmation.
Right.
But you have to know that you can do it. Now, the job of a teacher, the job of a good person, the job of a leader, to understand that everybody has value. They might not understand what their strength is. They might not come to terms with how great they are, but it's for you to bring it out in them. That's really the value of the courses. That's the value of the teaching. That's the value of the coaching training I was giving. It's for you to understand what immense potential you have. You are greater than what you've been told you are. Yes. I don't care who it is that's out there. They haven't told you how great you are, what immense potential you have, and how far you can go. So you have to know that. So in order to do that, you've got to understand that you're not that great. You got to learn.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go out there and learn. And so whatever it is that you're doing, if you want to be a landscaper, you know what? Go and study that. I mean, spend hours, spend all your time studying to be the best at that. If you want to be in sanitation, but you know what? Learn how to be the best garbage man alive.
Right.
You've got to learn your trade. Secondly, you've got to work work. You've got to outwork, outperform, outdo the guy next to you. And I learned that one day coming from partying in college. I studied hard, but I also if there was a party, I wanted to go.
Well, sure, you're
So
human.
I went, I partied, and I loved dancing. So danced all night came. It was like, I don't know, 2 a.m. or something. And I look out the window of my bedroom before going to bed, and I see this kid, maybe, I don't know, there was the backyard, and then their backyard, and then their house. And I see the kid there studying, right? My God. Man, this guy's good. I go to bed. I get up in the morning to go to work. It was maybe, I don't know, 7 o'clock or so. He's studying.
Still.
That changed how I studied. Every time I came in at home, I knew I had to sit and study.
What a great lesson.
And I would but my study area was all the way in the front of the house. So I would come and I would go to bed. And if this kid was studying, I went back and continued.
Wow.
There's no way he's outperforming me because that's my competition. The job I want, I'm not going to have. He's going to get it. That was how I looked at it.
So powerful.
On Sundays, when everybody would be going out, I'd be at the library because that kid was in my head. I said, no, he's not going there. He's studying. So you've got to know that if you don't put in the work, you're not going to. The third thing to really succeed you got to adapt.
Mm.
If you stick with the same thing, you're not going to grow. You got to adapt. You have one business, okay, great to have a second. Maybe I can pivot to a third. Maybe I can pivot to a fourth. Who can I link with? And all that is important, So you have to have these value system. And you have to learn. Look, for me, education was a great means of learning. I love books. I come from a family that studied a lot, reads a lot. My father has his doctorate, went to school. He's a lawyer, accountant, entrepreneur, diplomat. I mean,
wow.
A lot of, brilliant man. My mother was also studied to be a teacher, very educated. So the entire family on both sides. So, but that's not the only path.
Right.
The path to education, to learning, is not just books. Life is an education. Surviving is an education. How do you bring your belief system into a reality that's going to capture other people's interests and propel you to higher status? That's a learning experience. That's an education. So there are many ways to get an education. The point is, never believe that because of the education that you have, now you start putting your nose up in the air.
Right.
Because of the success that you have, now your nose is up in the air. Stay grounded. You're not that great.
Don't forget where you came from.
No. You got to remember where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
By the same token, you can't undermine what an amazing potential is within you if you allow it to come out. But you got to work to allow it to come out. You got to find out what it is. And whatever it is you believe in, go with it. Just go with it. Don't look back. Full steam ahead. Because your expertise in that domain is going to come through. But you can't have that expertise and then stay home.
Right.
I mean,
Can't
I
hide
got
it from the
people,
world.
listen, I got people who have skills, and I'm talking about work skill, hand skills. If I had what they had, oh my God, like I'd be killing it. They're not making it. I don't get it. I don't get it. because they have everything to just grow.
And they don't see it.
But you got to be out there. You've got to be out there. You got to work. You got to grind.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Can't be scared.
You can't be scared. So, but you know, it's like when you learn how to swim, what do they teach you? The first thing they teach you is, okay, you're going to close your eyes and put your face in the water, and then you're going to open them, right?
Yep.
Don't close your eyes. Keep them open. What is that? And I asked my teacher because after that I had to learn how to swim. You know, I told you, I told you, I got to learn. I got to be better. Said, if you don't see, you're scared. If you see where you're going.
Right.
And that's the future. We don't see the future, so we're scared of it.
Right.
We don't see the avenue that a particular endeavor will lead us to, so we're scared. So we're scared because we don't see it. So that's why it's so important to sometimes just, you know, take a step back and understand, look, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is where we're going. This is how I'm going to get there. Everybody can tell you you're crazy, but it's
Right.
okay. I see where I'm going. I see how I'm getting there.
To me, that's where faith comes in. And that's where you understanding that you can only control what you can. Control that. The rest, leave it up to faith in God. It's going to meet you halfway.